All right, everyone. Here of round one. I do have to first address a blunder. I called this a modern draft league. Unfortunately, it is not a modern Masters draft league. This is a modern constructed competitive league. So we'll be playing 5 rounds of this, and I promise that will be the only mistake I make during this series of videos. Everything else will be perfect from here on out, guaranteed. You can hold me to that. Please don't, because I definitely can't live up to that. All right, we won the die roll. I'm going to choose to play first, of course. Um, Oh, that's an unfortunate start. So you do go to 6 a lot with this deck. It's just kind of the nature. Things are a little clunky. It's obviously can be very powerful as well. I mean, just well, replace this with a forest, and then you can see how crazy this would be. A turn 2 Thought Knots here on the play with Ancient Stirrings backup. So let's go and mulligan this though. All right. This is a keep, I think. Let's see what they do, I guess, before we 100% make the decision. Yeah, I'm probably going to keep this. The scry makes it a little bit easier to keep considering I don't have to fetch away anything, so I actually get to keep what's on top here. Um, Obviously, we're kind of missing something obvious, and that is a good creature to play. Oh, there are certainly matchups where I'm going to regret putting this on the bottom, but yeah, it's got to go there. We'll start off with a cavern here named Druid, so make sure I can get the Boreal Druid here if I also draw that. Cool. All right. And we're going to have to get a little lucky here. Ancient Stirrings would be good. Any Thought Knots here would be amazing. Dismember, less so. All right, we're just going to play a brush land out here and attack for 1. Don't want to show him the temple yet. Don't want to expose it either. This is certainly not the most explosive start here. Still think the keep's right. I mean, it doesn't feel great at this point. Could still turn out very good. I mean, I can still draw a Drowner or a Reality Smasher. Get that out in the next 2 turns. Ancient Stirrings and a Thought-Knots here. Something like that. There's some big turns I can have next turn. I feel like maybe this is... No, not in effect. Still not 100% sure what I'm playing against. Alright. I think I'm going to play this on Eldrazi here. Just play around counter magic in case that's what our opponent's up to. Keep the brush land open so I have path available in case something happens here to my Noble Hierarch before I want to cast it. And pass turn. Might be... My best guess is 4-color Bring to Light Scape Shift. As to what my opponent's on, but still not 100% sure. This could be the Retreat combo deck, the Knight of the Reliquary combo deck as well. Flooded Strand and Misty Reinforce. Yeah, I'm leaning towards that being the case. Definitely seems Bant. Misty Reinforce and the Flooded Strand means it's probably not Eldrazi. Alright, that's a pretty good draw. Let's see. Yeah, we want to keep mana open for the other things, so... See what's going on here. These Cavern Souls, of course, just very good. I could have Spell Queller. Could be something doing something like that. The basic forest leads me to think no. But Spell Queller does get around the Cavern of Souls. Of course, Exile is a spell. I would then get it right back, but it's an interaction worth knowing about. All right, what do you got, buddy? I am anxiously waiting, just like you guys are. Trying to consider exactly what's going on. I mean, he's got 7 cards, so there's a good chance we're just going to run into 2 removal spells here and not be able to do much about that. But I think the pre-combat Thought Nazi here is correct. And certainly playing out how to use our removal as well. Oh, it is spell color. Okay. I'm going to go with Dismember here once this resolves, of course. Don't want to do it before this resolves, or else the spell will go away forever. All right, and yeah, I'll go ahead and use the brush land. So I get to put him down to 12 here. There is some thought. I mean, there's just no chance he's ever blocking, but perhaps it's better to attack with Matter Reshaper first. Yes, I would like to cast this, please. Oh, so I wonder if he's just busy doing something else. Whoa, okay. Huh, he must not have too much going on, but enough going on that he wanted to disguise. So I think he's probably removal light, at least pre-board, if he knows he can't really get out of this. I don't think we have to worry about Supreme Verdicts, at least from a main deck configuration. Could be like a Vincer style deck. Anyway, so I'm going to go to sideboarding here while I think about this. So we don't know too much. We really don't. I don't think any of these cards are going to matter. I think these are theoretically the cards that will matter, but he didn't show us any turn 1 or 2 plays. I think I'll keep 1 Engineered Explosives in as a hedge. I think he might be creature based enough where we don't want this. Oh, that exact sequence. This might be a little better on the play. I guess we just gotta see. Sorry, I'm just thinking. So if he's a Blink style deck, Drowsy Displacer, could have like Blade Splicers, Restoration Angels. This is where Birds of Paradise does get a slight nod. Just being able to go up to 4 in a very corner case situation on the explosives. But yeah, I am leaning towards just running it back. Is there anything in my deck that I think is going to be bad? Well, we know I do usually tend to board out of Birds of Paradise though, so I guess that corner case isn't too relevant besides first game. Could take this guy out. Just bring in a negate. Just assume he has to have something that I might possibly want to negate. Or second engineered explosives. No, I'm just going to keep it the way it is. It was reasonable of him to concede if he really didn't think he could pull out of that situation. Because now I'm just left without too much information. This appears to be a fair deck. Then we just have a really good game against fair decks. So it's not unreasonable that the main deck configuration is close to right anyways. It was a Malta 6 as well. So pretty good start. Sure, this hand's awesome. We'll get to start off here with a Temple Garden into an Ancient Stirrings, and then follow it up with a Matter Shaper into Reality Smasher if everything goes according to plan. So we'll keep. If he holds up 2 mana, we might probably still run this out, because playing this is the same as getting remanded. But possibly pump the brakes on Reality Smasher. All depends on what we find, I guess. No reason to go too deep on the planning. All right, so this is probably Mana Dork. Yep. Ooh. Kind of just want to turn to Thought Nazi or him. Yeah, so if he goes next turn Knight of the Reliquary, if he's planning on going turn 3 retreat, this is our best way to stop that. If he Ghost Quarters me, I get to get a basic land and then still play Matter Reshaper next turn. So, I mean, I've already got threats to play, so I think I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, just try to do the turn 2 Thought Knots here. I, of course, don't know for sure that he's trying to do anything of that nature. All right, so he hasn't really done anything yet. Again, I could be running into Spell Queller. So if it's Spell Queller, I want to go get a colored source so that next turn I can do Thought Knots here and Ancient Stirrings. But if it's Reband or something, then obviously the Cavern looks a little better. I think it's likely enough that this is Spell Queller. I mean, it's the only relevant play we saw last time, so it makes the most sense to play around that, in my opinion. I am just going to get a basic force here. Sure. All right, so it looks like Spell Queller is coming. If he holds mana up again, ooh, Rattle Chains. Huh. Did sign up for Modern, right? All right, I guess we know what he's up to. Flyers are probably pretty good against me. He's going to have to outrace me, though. Just making sure I understand what everything does. Yeah, I'm going to get aggressive here. I don't want to run one of these Thought Knots here into a Spell Queller. Plus with this here now, I can't do this plus this. It's maybe a little hard to win this race on the draw, but I think we got to try. It's our best chance. All right, well, that worked. That is a spirit. That's pretty good. All right, we're taking 9, going to 7. Ugh. Going to 7 and then not having a way to deal with it unless I draw a path. Ugh. Guess I could draw another Reality Smasher. Could. Can't even Stirrings look for another Reality Smasher. I mean, I could certainly try, but he has the Wanderer available to him. Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's certainly possible he never had Spell Queller in his hand, and that given the way this hand worked out, the only way for me to win would have been to Thought Nazi or out the Geist. But that assumes he doesn't have a removal spell as well. Be a little aggressive. Though I think attacking with those are certainly reasonable. All right, we're at 7. Tokens are exiling. All right, this is what we do, apparently. All right, so if he has... 2 toughness, he dies. 2 toughness or less. If he has 3 toughness or more, or a removal spell, we die. We can start with an Ancient Stirrings, possibly bait out what's going on in his hand. So if we do that, he might try to grow the Wanderer and then make us sack 2. Then we'll know what we're playing around. Then we can keep a blocker back and take 6 in the air. Go to 1, theoretically, but he's going to have whatever he flashes in. So, yes, but we will also be attacking the Smashers and he has to block. All right, yeah, we're going to start with the Stirrings. Do I play a land first? Yeah, we do. Make him think he has to pay more than he actually does. Ugh, just lets it happen. Man, that's unfortunate. One more land and then I definitely would definitely would want the Drowner here. And would take Drowner. We already have the Smasher and that's what we're doing now. Just put them in any order. This game's not going past, well, this turn, I don't think. Alright, so if he has 2 toughness, I can smash him with the Smashers and die. Let's see, blocking doesn't even do anything because he has 7 there, so I think it's pretty clear we're attacking with everything. Alright, let's make this uncounterable, in case he was leaning on that. Alright, all in. That's going to be just enough to survive. Yep. Man, really close. That was well played by him too, because if he takes the line, I suggest with Ancient Stirrings. I guess he felt confident enough that he would have found the Smasher. Alright, so he has spirits. He's probably got Selfless Spirit, but I probably still want the explosives. Definitely want this gut shot. Definitely, definitely. Don't want any of these. Do I want this? Possibly I would have wanted this on the draw, but I don't want it on the play. Alright, we're going to cut a Drowner. He's a little low to the ground. Cut a Dismember. I don't want to pay for life if I don't have to, and I've kind of upgraded here with the gut shot. This is pretty good against him defensively. This is a little underwhelming. So Spellskite, actually. Yeah. Just gonna get Spellskite out of there. This will be the game he has 2 Path to Exiles, of course, but not really much I can do about that. Alright, so we'll be on the play here. If we get a hand like we just had, pretty confident. This hand's certainly good enough. Let's see. I'm keeping. I'm just trying to figure out my sequence first, so I give away a little bit of information to a really observant opponent if you say keep and then you sit there and you tank for a minute, especially in live. Plus, you can kind of give them the impression that your hand's worse than it is too. So I usually like to have my plan figured out before I click. I think I slightly prefer still keeping a Cavern on Eldrazi, especially if I need a blue source late. It's worth taking 1 damage. Yeah, I think so. All right. Opponent is mulligan to 6. Are they going to 5? They keep and go to the top. All right. No value for you. Let's start off with the hierarch. Turn 2 Displacer has a reasonable chance to be really good here. Do need to keep in mind the rattle chains is going to put a damper on a lot of my plans. I'm gonna go and get these down while I can. Spell color changes everything. This looks like he's on a 1-lander. Yep. All right. Yeah, I think this one's pretty clear. So we'll start with an attack for 4, just in case he wants to jump. Don't think it's too likely. I certainly would not if I were him. All right. I think we're far enough ahead here where I don't mind taking a little bit of damage here. Well, got the Bant Eldrazi. We never... Sorry, I was thinking about getting a Hallowed Fountain here. Now I'm trying to decide between Basic Plains and Temple Garden. I'll just get Basic Plains. I can't really even see the upside. Temple Garden too much. Certainly would be cool if we prompted another concession. No. All right, sorry, I gotta read a few cards here. That is spicy. I have to slog a bit here. Jeez. So he is constricted on mana. Other spirits are bigger. God. Alright, I can block his Geist and I can blink his Angel. So with that in mind, I think I'm going to take this Captain. Might have to play a slightly longer game than I anticipated here if he hits lands. But okay. Selfless Spirit. Alright, that is... No, so he can sack 1. Jeez. This could be kind of hard. Sorry. Doing a lot of internal thinking here. So I'm trying to decide. So some inclinations here are Path to Exile his Hierarch, keep him off the Exalted, and keep him off the 3 mana for a turn. Obviously, he will get a basic tapped Make it slightly less likely for him to draw one. I could path a Selfless Spirit and go to combat. I like that less. Could try to Engineered Explosives for one, but then I just lose my Hierarch and he loses the Spirit. I could Engineered Explosives for two, but that still only takes care of one Spirit. So I could set Engineer's Explosives to two, blow it next turn, and then blink the Spirit that he leaves behind so that the effect wears off on it and it gets it. And I can also upkeep, path to exile him, keep open, or I can just keep the blink open and have path open. All right, let's go to combat, see if I can go ahead and get him to use his stuff here. Might go for a double block. Wouldn't be bad. I would blink his Kami. He would sacrifice it. All combat damage is prevented. So we know he has a Kami, and we know he has a Geist. Alright. Well, this was the obvious attack for me. No blocks. Alright, so I think he's just going to sacrifice. Wow, okay. A little dangerous. Alright, so I think I'm going to set Engineer Explosives to 1, actually. Then, end of his turn, can blow it and do the trick I described so that the commies are gone. I think I like that a little bit better now. That way, that's just next turn he definitely doesn't have any commies available. And if he plays out the second one into the Engineer Explosives, yeah. God, see, now I'm less inclined to do this. So what happens if I just blow it now? He ends up with 1. Then I can't blink. All right, yep, we'll go ahead and path this one upkeep. This may be a little loose. There's got to be some things that go wrong. This also stops him from drawing Spellqueller, though. Well, I mean, it doesn't stop him from drawing it, obviously, but it stops that from really messing me up. I guess I don't have enough to blink and explode. Attacks with all. All right, yeah, I guess my line didn't fully make sense. Still a good spot. This placer's doing a lot of work here. He's going to have to sacrifice some resources here soon. All right, there is a second Kami, so I apologize, guys. I'm having kind of a hard time thinking the situation through. This is this is very unique. I have not been in one like this before. All right, so if I attack out, he's either got to chump or lose it. So it goes to 1. Then the next turn I can look to do, or on his turn I can make him lose spirits. Very curious. I definitely plan on going back and revisiting this, figure out the best line. But I think, so if I do this now, sacrifices a spirit, keep him around. I can blink 1, then he just sacrifices that, still has 1 around. If I attack out, sacrifices that, we're still in the stance. All right, I'm going to attack out. I think it's a little better. All right, so he has 1 mystery card. Can't take him off a color, so Ghost Quartering doesn't make too much sense. It's like double blue matter, double white matter. No. I think we just hold it. This is pretty good technology for sure. All right, so we're going to do it here. This is what cause him to lose 2 things, one or the other. All right, let that resolve. Make sure I didn't do anything silly. Now he can play Geist as a blocker to save himself for a turn. Cool. All right. So is my Hierarch. Plays out his Geist. Yeah, I should have played the Ghost Quarter last turn. That was a blunder, because I could have drawn just a regular land here. Fortunately, I draw the Temple, so now I have 2 activations available to myself. Yeah, I'm just gonna make a lethal attack here. Force him to sacrifice Kami. I can take 2 on the way back pretty safely. Yeah, that was fortunate. I mean, as fortunate as I could be to draw land in this instance. Um, could get aggressive on the draw step here and Thought Not Seer's hand. I don't know what's in there. I think I'm going to choose not to do that. I want to be able to protect it. Let's make sure that I still think that way. Yeah, I'm going to just let him play it. Oh god, is this an angel spirit? Okay, good. All right, he is attacking for 3 then. But if he attacks, he dies. All right, I'm going to start off here with Blink on Thought Not Seer, just to double check that the coast is clear. So opponent will draw a card. Let's take a look. All right, that's not the most fortunate for my opponent. Let's blink this. Luckily that says others. We'll go ahead and play out this and my land. Guess maybe I should have played out the hierarch. Alright, so now no attacks. Plays a forest. Ugh, he showed me the land. Don't think I agree with that. I'll go Druid. Now I've got 3 activations available to me. I know his hand, so I'm just going to attack with everyone. Yep, there we go. All right. So that was round 1. You're going to notice a little bit of a time jump if you're really astute, or I guess if you just listen to me right now. I am in a league, so I'm going to pause recordings and come back to it later tonight to do the other rounds. So look forward to seeing you guys then.